Okay, welcome to another episode of the Play It Up podcast. I'm your host, Neil Cairns, and I'm here with Dennis Edmonds. I was thinking of a new nickname for you, actually, Dennis. So, Dennis Double Dragon Edmonds would be Quad D Edmonds, because there's
Quad D.
Dennis Double, which means like times two,
Yep.
and Dragon. Quad D Edmonds. So
wow.
how are you going today, Dennis?
What up, Quad D?
Quad up.
I'm great, thank you.
Yeah, well, he loves it. He loves it.
It's so dumb. I love it. I'm crying.
And also joining us, we have Mike Coolican.
Hi there.
Yeah. So we should probably start, Mike. We have a new sponsor of the podcast.
We do.
Do you want to give us a little heads up on that?
100%, yeah. So myself and Ree, we've been running the Subculture Cold Drip business for over a year now. So yeah, a year and 2 months, right about. And yeah, we're now happy to say that we're going to be the sponsor of the podcast, Subculture Cold Drip Coffee.
Well,
It's the new news in terms of those sorts of things. I will work out a way to implement it into things, and I don't know, a little logo up here somewhere at some point.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah. Just see how that
I'll be right.
flows. Yeah.
And
beautiful.
The business has been staying steady, which is good. It's looking after itself. We're still only doing it every couple of weeks, making the cold drip, because we're still trying to fit it in with life, health, fitness, happiness, work, everything else. So it's every couple of weeks we run a big batch. We're selling between 5 and 15 liters each time. If we sell 3 liters, we sort of break even, and it's still fun. It's still something we enjoy doing. So we're going to keep at it and keep trying to get from above 5 every run we can. So
yeah, right.
Subculture Cold Drip Coffee, Subculture Cafe now sponsors the Play It Up podcast.
Yeah. Well, we're all addicted to it. So I know, like, Jen and I love it. It saves us from going down the road to get our morning coffee, especially when we're at home. Obviously Dennis and Sean also enjoy the coffee that you produce. So
I do partake. Yes, I do.
Yeah, there's nothing like Mike's fluid, that's for sure. So,
it's the best.
So a quick wrap up, or a quick what we're doing tonight. So we're just having a bit of a chat about Starcade, which happened yesterday at Netherworld. We'll be just talking about getting ready for BPAC and some pubs and some upcoming events.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think we should probably start with Starcade, because I think that's pretty new news, only happening yesterday at Netherworld. So Mikey and I were there. Give us a bit of a rundown, Mikey, of what it was about.
Yeah, it was absolutely awesome. It was so Starcade was a TV show in the early 80s in America. It was the first arcade gaming quiz show ever put onto TV. So in the show, they generally have an adult versus a child, which is kind of strange. So they answer like quiz questions to start off with. And whoever gets the quiz questions right, they get the first choice of which the 3 or 4 different arcade machines they have there to play. So whoever gets the most questions right, they get to choose the first machine they're going to play on. So for the Starcade for Netherworld, they sort of did like a version of that, which was awesome. So they had heats of four people, all adults, no kids. But saying that, in the show Starcade, the first 5 episodes, the kids won. The kids were too good at playing arcade games. Always lost. But yeah, for the Netherworld version, it was heats of 4 people, and you have quick fire questions, like just quiz questions, like who's Pac-Man's wife or something. obviously there was ones a bit tougher than that, especially as the day went on. And yeah, whoever got the questions right there got a couple of points, and then you all turn around and you're playing on a 60-1 cab behind you. You all play the same games, and whoever gets the highest scores in 90 seconds on each game takes out the win for that particular game, that round. So points are awarded there for that. So I went through rounds. I had 16 people. They went through 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds. So
so like they had 4 rounds at the start, and then the top 2 players of each round would go to in. So it went to like a bracket of 4 to a bracket of 2 to 1. So yeah.
And it was really awesome. They were recording and streaming it live and editing in 1980s adverts during the break times or during like the advert, like let's have a chat with our sponsors, a word from our sponsors kind of thing.
Great.
And it was really cool, just very, very 80s, very cheesy, a lot of fun. Mitch Wilkins was doing the presentation. He was presenting the show. Yeah, he was really good, really funny. And just a lot of laughs. A couple of people dressed up in 80s gear. It was, pretty fun.
Nice.
How about you, Neil? How did you feel through the whole thing?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. It was nice to have a not serious competition for arcades. It was just a bit of fun. Like I don't think anyone was like out there to win. It was just it was just a joyful experience and lots of laughs. So yeah.
And like in true 80s TV show styles, the winning prize, the winner would go home with a Hanamex RF plug-in color TV game for your CRT TV.
Yes.
And Mr. John Tannehill ended up coming out on top, and he won the grand prize of the Hanamex portable RF unit plug-in color TV game. One of the games is just called Training. There was Pong, there was sports, football, training. Bit of a history relic now, but really fit in with the 80s, early 80s vibe of the TV show.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So watch out for the world record on that one with John setting that up at home. The training.
Is it a high enough res for him to be able to play it? I thought that he'd be if it's not set up for RGB input, John might be just like, nah, I can't play this. RF? What?
Very true. Yeah. So he came out on top. I came third at the end, which is fun. But yeah. And then Mikey, you dropped out in the second round, didn't you?
Bombed out real hard. Yeah. Had three games on that last round that I was in, that semi-final. And Gallagher was one of them. I was like, sweet, yeah, no worries. And the other 2 games was Hustler, which is like a pool game.
Oh.
And Mr. Do's Castle, I think, was the other one where you have to hit the hammers, the pegs through the ground, and the enemies fall in the holes, and you got to hit them through. I lost. I literally came 4th in those 2 rounds out of the people who, some of them don't really play arcade games, and they beat me.
Yeah, it's funny because it was like something we should mention there was like 4 arcade machines, so you all play at the same time. You get 90 seconds for each game, which is very small. Like it's a very small window, and something can go wrong pretty quickly. And it was all 16-1s, so it was like they literally just drew them out of a hat pretty much as to what games you would play. So yeah, really hope they do it again because it was a lot of fun and a great day. Yeah,
awesome.
So, speaking of events, I thought I might just run through a little list of upcoming
segue.
Upcoming arcade retro events happening around Brisbane area in the next couple of months. On the 31st of this month, on a Wednesday night, 6 p.m. at One Up Arcade, they're having the Amiga Club exhibit all their gear and hook up all their machines, Amigas, like Amiga 500, 600, I think 1000s, 1200s, all the way up. They'll have all the coolest Amiga rigs there with the the Vampire emulation cores in whatever they use. And so that's going to be a very interesting night for the home micros, as they call them in the UK, which we just call them PCs in Australia because that's where the computer was.
Yep.
Where's that happening, Mike?
Yes, One Up Arcade.
One Up Arcade, cool.
Yep. So then we head off to June. On the 3rd of June, One Up is hosting their pretty special Fight Club. It's going to be the first time people play Street Fighter 6 in Australia. It's a launch day of Street Fighter 6, so they're going to be working out a way to get some systems set up where they'll play it, and that's going to be Fight Club Street Fighter 6. No one's played it until that day, so that's going to be a really, really, really interesting day.
If you're into your fighters, that'll be a place to go and check out.
Hell yes, yeah. Especially even just to see it in action, people playing against each other, not online,
Yeah.
obviously, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wonder what would they have like what would it be running on? Would that be, is it console based or is that literally an arcade?
It might be console, it might be arcade. It depends on what they can get their hands on at the time.
That would
I
be cool.
Probably it'd have to be PC based because I think they've got a couple of big setups there with some big LCD TVs there that they were using for the Mario Kart comp just recently. So
nice.
I would expect with a little bit of change, it would be adapted to pop a couple of fight sticks in there and have some Street Fighter 6 games, which would be wow. It would be pretty intense, I reckon, seeing
wild.
like a new game just released, watching everyone find their feet with a new game and getting used to the game mechanics would be really interesting to watch, man. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I like the idea that everyone was going to be on the same level.
Yep.
Or there's no kind of way of practicing or anything like that. Just going raw.
That's right.
Yeah, that'll be really cool.
I can go in and have 1 or 2 games against Pete High or maybe Johnny Mac and actually have a chance of winning for the first two or 3 games until they work it out. I'll just get in there.
Just hopefully they just totally nerf Loto in Street Fighter 6.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I'm sure that John will have that all covered.
Yeah.
That one's for you, Johnny Mac.
So John McIntyre is the person who runs Fight Club at One Up. So come along, you'll meet John, you'll meet the locals, the fighting game crew, and it's a lot of fun. It's a pretty light-hearted, fun, casual gaming session. It's always a great time. But that brings us up to the 10th of June. At Netherworld, I'll be hosting the Donkey Kong Advanced class.
Woo!
So this follows on from February's beginners class, which is on YouTube at the moment under Jimmy Nails' YouTube channel. If you want a copy, if you want access to the link, let us know. We send you the link. It's got the full beginners class on there, recorded from start to end, and it's basically if you haven't played Donkey Kong before, or you want to start to get into Donkey Kong, the arcade version, not Donkey Kong Country or Donkey Kong Land or anything after. Just Donkey Kong, the arcade version, 1981. Go check it out. Let us know. We can help you out. We can send you the booklet as well if you want. Beginners to intermediate booklet, super useful learning tool to pick up the game. But 10th of June we have the Donkey Kong Advanced class, which is going to show a lot slightly deeper, more the next skill level set, like points pressing, Firefox evasion on the pies levels and the rivets. And at the end of the class is going to be learning the springs, so it's going to be a bit intensive at the end on the springs because that's the cap skill level you have to learn to be able to just cruise through Donkey Kong. You learn that level 5 springs, you can just keep playing. The game doesn't get any harder.
Theoretically, you can keep playing. Yes.
Theoretically. in reality, RNG will get you, but that's all taught in the beginners class too. So, good old RNG keeps things fresh, interesting, and exciting. Donkey Kong Arcade. On the 17th of June, Netherworld's holding the Daytona Grand Prix, Daytona car racing event.
Cool.
We're going to have 4 Daytona cabs hooked together, so not just the regular 2. And looks to be an awesome day. I'm hoping to see if I can squeeze in a Daytona beginners class or beginners advanced class before this, but I realize now the 17th of June is coming up pretty quick, so I'm not sure if I'll fit it in. I would love, one of the next class licensings I want to run is definitely Daytona and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. So whichever one we fit into wherever, we'll figure it out.
Yep.
And then in July we have the big old BPAC, Brisbane Pinball Arcade Collective exhibition events competition. It's a week with both weekends either side, just full of pinball comps, arcade comps, all non-stop the whole way through. So we're going to have the Australian Kong off, the Australian Donkey Kong level 3. We have the Australian Arcade Championships happening. We have I think we're having the Street Fighter 3 Third Strike competition possibly. Also got the Ultimate Punch Fighting Game Championship, the two-headed monster arcade comp at Netherworld, which is an awesome comp. It's so much fun. Just two people trying to get high scores on an arcade machine, but one has a joystick, the other has the buttons. One holds the gun, the other one pulls the trigger. It's it's a crazy amount of fun. Also during BPAC, they have the Nintendo 64 Mario Kart and GoldenEye competitions as well. And there'll be the Teams Royale, I think, at On Up Arcade, I believe.
I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
What an event.
Yeah. And that's BPAC arcade side of things. There's a whole bunch of pinball comps coming up through there as well, like the Brisbane Pinball Masters, Classics Frenzy, a whole bunch of comps. I haven't got it listed here, obviously, because we are talking about arcade games.
Tons of
pinball
stuff. One of the main things that kicked off BPAC in the first place was focused around pinball quite heavily. We should get a pinhead in to talk to us about it. I reckon there'd be a few people that would be keen to pop in and have a chinwag about all the different events because represent. It brings in pinball players from all around the world, and
it's true.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome just to see how many pinball players there are. Like, I know that we all love the arcade events, and the three of us are there for the whole time, whether we're working or we're just there because we love it. But yeah, we make up the minority. I think there's pinball players everywhere, and good on them. It's great to see just so much positivity and good vibes around the event. And it's such an amazing place to be, even for that space of time. You'd think that it would be too much of a good thing, but it's just not. It's like when it's
crazy.
It finishes and everyone gets post BPAC depression and want to wait until next year. And I think in particular, Mark Bell on Game the System keeps posting every time there's a weekly update. So I think that we're at 8 at the moment, 8 weeks to go at the time of filming. So on the BPAC channel on Game the System Discord, he's got the like the Street Fighter 2 sort of game over screen where it counts down 9, 8, 7, 6. So every week he's putting one up. So
sick. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic, man.
Yeah, the pinball community is amazing.
I think it's really cool that consoles are going to be a part of it this year. I think that's like a really exciting step forward. I think it's Mario Kart and is it GoldenEye?
GoldenEye, correct?
So great 4-player games and potentially like there's no kind of angst between arcade and pinball, but I think maybe arcade consoles a bit more of
bridges the gap a little bit, doesn't it? Really?
Thanks for filling those words. Bridges the gap certainly. So it would be awesome to have some of the pinballers come and play those games. I think it's a really cool look into what could become a console event as well.
It's great to see that brought in this year. I think we might have mentioned it maybe in the last episode, or but I think Sean was talking about the idea of having a Tetris mini comp in there as well, which would be pretty awesome if we could squeeze that. But it's I think having the idea of having consoles in there, like Neil said, like I'm pretty sure that pinballers and arcaders are like, we all love our consoles, so it's exciting to see it included.
Yeah, they all grew up with them like we did. They were just they happened to gravitate outside of that towards pinball. We gravitated towards arcade.
Exactly.
So yeah, then after BPAC in August on the 19th at Netherworld, there'll be the Eka-themed arcade club. I won't be there. I'll be in Japan at the time. So Ben and Jimmy will be looking after that one, and it's going to be just a lot of fun, sort of sideshow themed games and console games, arcade games, or Circus Charlie, that sort of thing. Just, probably a few like mechanical games as well, like the clown with the moving head. You put the ball in its mouth, and that sort of thing. So that's.
Fingers crossed I'll have my Circus Charlie board fixed, because I'd love to do. Love to do the Max Score and arcade hardware at the sideshow week. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Sick. Yeah.
I'm not dressing as a clown. I'm just telling you now, so it's not expected later.
Then in September, on the 9th and 10th, we have the Australian Battle of the Arcades.
Yeah.
That's it. A whole bunch of games that we really want to play because we love them all.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to Battle of the Arcades. It's always it's a good 2 days with your mates, hanging out, playing games, drinking beers, just trying to get high scores and PBs through the whole time. If anyone wants to join up in Battle of the Arcades, have a chat with your local arcade. Hopefully they've got a team running in it, and join in. It's just a lot of fun.
Hey guys, Sean here. Thanks to everyone who tunes into the Play It Up podcast. We really love doing this podcast and really appreciate everyone who listens. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram by searching for Play It Up Podcast. You can find the full video podcast on YouTube, and you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, Anchor, and more. If you want to ask us a question, you can do so on Anchor, and your question will be featured on the podcast. If you like what we do, please remember to like, review, comment, follow or subscribe, and please recommend us to your friends. Thanks guys, and enjoy the episode.
What are you drinking, Neil?
Asahi.
Very nice.
I'm on the we're on a budget. So I've been using Shopper Docket beers.
Nice. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Why not?
That should do.
Nice.
Looks like it's
brighter.
Lit.
Lit.
All right.
Yeah.
So where were we?
We're just about to talk about each other's like weeks or what we've been up to recently. So Dennis, are you happy to go first there?
Yep. Yeah, I'm happy to chat. So lately there's been a bit going on. I've been in the process of trying to find homes for these 4 Nintendo Hellfire cabs behind me here. So if you're not watching on video, I'm just flipping the camera around so that you guys can see the Hellfire cabinets that are here in my garage. That one on the end is mine. And so all of these guys now have homes, but we're just in the process of arranging how to get everybody to get transport for theirs. And it's probably going to be after BPAC at some point, I think, because all of the buyers you would know. And everybody's saving their money for beer pack. So we probably move them on afterwards.
Yeah, that's cool that they must make you feel comfortable that they're all sold.
I'm very happy that they're going to good homes, man, and they're going to people who are going to really appreciate having each one of those cabinets at their places, and that makes me happy. I think actually I'll hold off for now on telling you the location of one, but we'll keep it as a surprise for later on. So a little bit of intrigue. It's never a bad thing. Apart from that, there is some BPAC preparations that have been going on. So usually when it comes to Kong Off every year, we end up having to rush and order a bunch of parts. And so we've gotten ahead of the we've gotten ahead of ourselves a little bit more this year and ordered some parts in advance so that by the time BPAC rolls around and Kong Off is the first major arcade event off the rank, that we'll have all of our stuff ready to rock and roll and have spares, and mate, it'll be a sight to see. So in that time as well, just been tuning up the machines that I've got. I've got that you'd remember that Space Demon pickup that we got in the recent pickup, Neil, of these Nintendo cabinets. Well, I've been going through the process of temporarily converting it so that it can be a Donkey Kong cab for Kong Off. So it's good having a classic Nintendo cab that's in functional condition to have for that sort of thing. So all it needed was just the there have been no major changes to the cabinet, just changing of artwork and control panel. So apart from that, it's plugging in a Donkey Kong PCB and you've got yourself a Donkey Kong cab. So we're just waiting on a new control panel from America at the moment. So I've ordered that from Mike's Arcade. So that should be on the way some point soon. So apart from that, JB's cab sitting there in the corner quietly post BPAC last year, that's ready to rock. This thing should be good. I was just tuning that earlier on tonight as well because I'm never 100% happy with the monitor on this thing. It's oh man, if you are an arcade cabinet owner and you have CRTs, then you probably are aware of the pain of fine tuning all of these to the point that you're happy with them. And I never am. So I constantly look at them like, I can live with it, but maybe if I just do this little thing, and you make it 10 times worse, and then you have to get it back to how you had it before. and then you remember, oh, that's right, I did it like that because that's the best I could get it. Yeah, apart from that, PCB repairs. So local legend Tim Bragg has picked up a Donkey Kong PCB off of us, which I've just repaired recently. There should be some repair logs online in either Aussie Arcade or on Clov at some point soon of what it took me to restore and repair his board. It's actually in that Donkey Kong cabinet at the moment, test running. So pending a couple of tiny little sprite problems, that board shall go to Tim, and that'll be ready to rock and roll for Kong Off as well. So that's kept me busy. I've still got another 2 PCBs that I've got to fix before Kong Off as well. So I want the machines that I supply for the event. I'd just like to make sure that I've got all the original hardware and everything ready to go, and that they can just be wheeled out to the event with a minimum of fuss and alteration. So it makes it easier for everybody at the event when they don't need major work.
Do we have more boards than machines?
No, I don't think we do. And typically, or actually, we may have 1 or 2 spares. I'm not 100% sure. But I think Adam Lee's always in the process of repairing and applying little fixes to these boards, because a perfectly good working board one year might be a completely failed board the next year. And that's just the age of the electronics we're dealing with now. They're all 1980 PCBs, so 1981, sorry, DK. So, things fail electronically after that, and have things like RAM that fails occasionally. And yeah, it's a constant process, just keeping on top of it. So there is that. What else can I tell you? That scramble cab of mine that I'd restored, that will be going to Jerry Scott up at Toowoomba. So if we're lucky, we might see it on the floor at Flipped at some point. So that would be really cool for them to have an original scramble there. What else have we got? The latest pickup as well. I mentioned Tim Bragg before as well. So I picked up this pretty cool Street Fighter 2 cab from Tim just a couple of weeks ago. So g'day, Tim, if you're listening. Thanks again for the cab. Got this home and just a little bit of minor maintenance and tuning, and it's gone straight into the room, and I really love it, man. It's so cool. Like, having at the moment, I've got my blue DK, I've got this red Neo Geo mini cab there, blue Rastan cab, green Street Fighter 2 cab, and my white Astro City. It's it's kind of a shame looking at the video on my feed here that it doesn't show like the backlight of all the marquees and the CRTs properly, but here in person it's really cool to see all the colors work with each other. And it was never planned that way. I picked up the cab because I've always wanted the 4-player LAI design. Love them. They're a classic piece of arcade gaming history in Australia, and I'm pretty sure that everybody's played one at some point in their lives at their local video shop, milk bar, corner store, fish and chip shop, what have you. So having one of these in my little arcade it's the coolest thing, man. I'm so happy with it. So yeah, all things being good, we may see that at BPAC as well. I'm not 100% sure. I'd probably need to check with John and see if there's any games that he'd like to provide and if the cab can be of use. And if it is, well, yeah, we might see it there. But so thanks again, Tim. Great cab, really love it. And yeah, hopefully we see it out at BPAC. I think that might be all that that's happening at the moment. Apart from that, just studying and yeah, not a lot else really. So
We heard that,
yeah.
we heard that Henry had a pretty good run on Street Fighter 2.
Oh yeah.
Was he some Blanca, was he?
Oh yeah, yep. My boy. He
Blanca.
I told him that we had the cabinet set up and said, hey, did you want to come down and play the Street Fighter 2 game? And he's up there. He's playing Transformers Devastation on PS4 a lot lately because it's like it's his most favorite game. I think he's up there playing it now. And I pretty much had to drag him from downstairs to play the game. But I loaded up a couple of credits and he picked a couple of fighters, and I think he was playing as Chun-Li originally, and he wasn't really getting anywhere. He tried E-Honda. And I don't think that he could spam the punch button fast enough to get him to do that, like that 1,000 hands thing that he does. Yeah. Yeah. So then he landed on Blanca, and yeah, he really liked playing as him. So yeah, so he made his way through. I think he made it in about 19 or 20 credits or something like that, which is kind of what I do. It's yeah, getting stuck on there's a few characters there that can really they can take your money. I mean, it's a Capcom game, Street Fighter 2. Like it's designed to take your money. But he made it through Sagat and through I think Balrog actually took quite a few credits off of him as well. Yeah, so watching him play through the game when it's just the 8 fighters that you get through, and then he's like, "Yay, I won!" And then the other fighters come up on the map, and he was just like, "No, what is this?"
Boss time.
Oh, sorry, mate, the game's not over yet. And he's like, "Oh yeah." So then he beat Balrog, Vega, and Sagat, and he's like, "Yeah, I got through the game." And then
and
Bison, yeah. I was thinking Dictator, and I'm like, it's not Dictator, it's Bison. I think in the Asia Pacific versions they call him Dictator. I can't remember, but yeah. And Bison shows up, and he's like, "How many more people do I have to fight to win this game?" I'm like, "You just got to keep going till it's dead." And yeah, I think he beat Bison in 2 credits. Pretty good.
Whoa,
wow.
Had him worked out really quick. So Heavy Punch Henry came through with the goods.
Yeah,
Heavy Punch Henry.
Yeah. Nice.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's that's pretty much all we got, guys. Mikey, Neil, what do you guys
I've got
got?
a couple of questions for you, actually, because I love the Kong off, and I know you're a big part of that kind of setup.
Sure.
I was wondering if you had the so you're setting up the other cab to be a Donkey Kong cab for the event.
Yes.
If you put that in the middle, you wouldn't have to worry about the artwork, right? like on the side of the cabs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody's going near it with Donkey Kong artwork. I'll tell you that right now. So every year there's a cabinet that gets done up with the latest Oz Kong off side art.
Mhm.
And yeah, because the Space Demon is such a super, super rare cabinet, like, I mean, it's pretty funny. Like, it's in just a normal blue Nintendo cabinet, but the game itself and the plate artwork and everything is so rare. And I want to keep it all in like the original cabinet. So yeah, I think sometimes when we're in a rush and we've got the artwork and it's day one and we're setting up and we want to pick a cab to go at the front of the lineup so you can see the new side art, they try to prioritize cabinets that don't have artwork at the start. So I'll be like, you're not doing
not this one. Yeah.
Not today, Jack. Yeah, so you're dead on though, Neil, that could go in the middle of the lineup and you wouldn't notice whether it's got side art or not. The only thing that you may notice is if we accommodate for the spreaders who play, like when they straddle the cabinets and they want like a good amount of space between the cabs so that they don't rub knees while they're playing against each other. So you might see a little bit more of a gap and maybe you'd notice the side art then, but
yeah. I was talking to Jeff about it. It's actually the size of his gonads that he has to sit there. It's out of necessity.
It would make sense. He's a million-point player, so
yeah, he does apologize, but yeah, he needs the room.
It checks out. Yeah.
Got to accommodate the spread neagles.
You do, yeah.
The specific term, spread neagle. Okay.
Yep, that's right. Yep, Babra and Geff, both spreaders from way back. So we've got to accommodate for the boys. So I think Justin is as well. Like like the photos. So you won that comp in what were the photos that I saw? It was a few months ago when Justin went and played in a comp in the US, and there's photos of him like when they sit right up against the cab and they're like that, and I'm like, oh, that looks so uncomfortable. How could you play like that, man? But people do it, and I don't know. Maybe it's better ventilation. I don't know.
I play cross-legged and side saddle. So yeah,
you got to though. It's the problem. It's the problem being super tall, but nothing could be comfortable for you playing these cabinets, bud.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to see it when you're standing up because the angle would be right, but then sitting down as well, like the below the speaker panel, there's not very much room to sort of get your knees under there. So I really get that, but man, trying to sit there like that, the fuck? So I don't get. I'm not. It's no knock to anyone who does it, but man, it feels so uncomfy.
Totally. Yeah.
So what other important questions did you have?
I'm actually interested in your arcade setup. So you've got 6 arcades in that kind of space where you have it set up. You don't have the Hellfire in there at the moment.
No, it can't fit.
Yeah. So are you getting close to your Grail collection? Because
I don't have one. The funny thing, like just collecting these machines, I think the more and more that I get into the arcade scene, and I find out about these great cabinets that are from around the world, and you see great cabinets like I think as an example, like Williams cabinets, always something that resonates so heavily with me because I love the stencil art and the design and colors and just the different shapes of those Williams cabs that came out in the 80s. So cool. And like my favorite is probably Joust, I think. So I really love Joust, and I love the art and the colors and everything, and seeing a brand new Joust with the CPO and bezel and marquee art, the spray on stencil work on the side of it. It's just like, I don't know, it's something that's just so quintessential arcade to me. And I'm so into it. Like So if you think about like what's a Grail item and what's not, it's so difficult to answer because the more and more I find out about these things, the more like, oh, I'd love to own one of those one day. And then the list starts getting longer, and then you think, well, shit, I've got like a tiny little room. That's like, how many of these can I have? And it's also about being patient and waiting for them to come up. And yeah, like, geez, like, even in the next year, as we find out through different competitions like BotA, through Australian Arcade Championship, and through different machines that arcades get, and you start getting to check out different games and different cabinets as well, and it changes what I want and what I'd really like to own one day as well. So it's so hard to decide on what's a Grail cab for me and what's not. It's it constantly changes for me as I find out more and more cool stuff. Like I think, have you guys ever seen Sinistar, like the Sinistar cabs? They're just
Have I? Yeah, I love it.
Oh, that's right.
Thank
No,
you.
sorry. Jeez, of course, man. It's on. Yeah, this is Neil
Like
we're talking to. Sorry.
Both of them. So like the stand up is just absolutely gorgeous, and like there's no way in hell that anyone would ever be able to afford them. But like the sit in
Oh
cab
yeah.
is just
The cockpit version sort of ones that are like super rare.
yeah. It's a
How could I
very
forget-
cool game.
How could I forget that? Of course, yeah. We've actually spoken about that before. Sorry, but yeah, yeah. Sinistar is like an example of just like a super cool game and cool cabinet, and like just I think something like having a Williams multi would be really great for me. I don't know where I'd put it or where I'd actually find one eventually, but it would be awesome to have a Joust, take all of the original hardware out, retain it, of course, like, and then fit it up as a Williams multi. So then I've got like this beautiful Joust cab that, yeah, and then it can go into places like BPAC for other people to play and appreciate too.
Yeah.
So the list doesn't end, Neil. It's constantly changing, and not really a good thing because it costs a lot of money. And I think if you don't have them in your collection, then you've got to be prepared to pay for them as well. I mean, at least we're not collecting pinballs, so that is something we've all got going for us too.
Yeah.
So we're all not millionaires. We couldn't do that.
At least you're realistic in saying a multi though, because the original Sinistar is very, very hard to find, or Joust or Bubbles or any of them, I think. So.
A Joust came up in WA maybe 6 months ago.
My God.
And it was I think it was going to be about $3,000 for the Joust, which is actually
it's priced accordingly, really.
That's line and ball with what I'd pay for it, really. And it's just a shame that I just didn't have the cash to throw at it, or otherwise I would have gladly like gone and spoken to the bloke in WA about it. But yeah, another issue we have with that sort of thing when you see cabs coming up like that is the transit. Like we can get a lot of stuff around between cities and states along the eastern seaboard of Australia pretty well. That Pinball Movers / Bill have a pretty good coverage of that area, and there are a few other operators that do that as well. But WA, there's not really any specific movers that do that. I guess probably because it's cost prohibitive for them to do it. But yeah, you have to run the risk of putting them on normal transport services who don't really understand or appreciate what they're transporting, and that's when you can get the problems. Like if someone knocks the cab over, or it's not stored properly and gets damaged in transit or something horrible like that. So you have to run that risk. So yeah, it's very, very interesting to see those things come up. But mate, I don't really know when this is going to stop for me. It needs to at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's a very cool collection. I can just see like every piece is purchased for a reason.
Beautiful, yeah.
And yeah, it's looking really cool at the moment. So yeah, that's why I mentioned it.
it's full.
Yeah.
It's really full. So I don't know. We'll start seeing what I do with them as this room continually evolves and changes shape. I think a few episodes ago, Hellifire was in the back corner, but I moved it out to sit next to all of its brothers and sisters that are going to go shortly as well, which is a tiny bit sad, but at the same time, really awesome. Like I said before, that they're going to go to good owners.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Mikey, what have you been up to, buddy?
It's been a busy time. Lots because I haven't been on the podcast for like 2 months. It feels like I've just been doing my regular stuff, playing some games, playing some PS1, playing some arcades, getting a bit of LV arcades training, a bit of Donkey Kong here and there. Did the Starcade yesterday, like we said, that was a lot of fun. Played a couple of games never played before, so it's my downfall. Oh my god, yeah. One of the major things was Tyson Hargraves has he's stepped down from doing Arcade Club, and Jimmy and Ben at Netherworld offered me the position to take it on. So that's been I said yes. I was like, yeah, I'll give it a crack. Let's see what we can do. Let's try some new things. Let's play with the format. Let's get into it. So that's kind of where we kicked off. The Donkey Kong Beginners class was sort of like a prequel to me sort of jumping into the Arcade Club position. Like, I didn't think I'd be able to do that, like stand up in front of everyone and present a class about something. I was freaking out pretty bad.
Yeah.
But luckily it was all, everyone in the crowd was people I knew, and it made it a lot more relaxing. We held another Arcade Club after that, where there was a couple of new people I didn't know, and we ran the event. The format went well. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, just busy with life as well, trying to fit it all together. It's been a busy time, yeah. So just with business, doing the cold drip business and just working 9 to 5, trying to fit into fitness around with, trying to also have a social life and make sure the dog's happy, the dog's walked, she's washed, I don't know.
Yep. Saving up for Japan as well must be a little prohibitive too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Trying it. Yeah, got Japan in August, so just trying to, if we are out, just to cap our spending, like $20-$30, 2 drinks, we're done. That's it. Okay, let's take it easy. Let's go home. Let's avoid any further spendings. It's pretty tough when there's such a great community around, when you to go out and hang out and see people and play games and hang around and enjoy the time there.
Yep. Are you still getting your Dr. Mario time in as well, Mikey?
I am, and it's been getting a bit crazy now.
Things are getting serious.
Yeah. I think out of the possible speeds of 0 to 20, I'm starting on the height of it's the height of the amount of viruses and pills you've got to get rid of. So I'm starting at level 18 now, and just I can clear it from level 18, which is about 3 pills lengthways from the top of the screen, and they come down fairly quickly. So I've been loving it, absolutely loving it, yeah. And with news of Mortal Kombat 1 on the way as well. It's just news dropped recently. Mortal Kombat 1 is the next brand new Mortal Kombat that NetherRealm is bringing out for the Switch, PC, Xbox, the latest Xboxes and the PS5. So there's no PS4 and no Xbox One support. So they're calling it Mortal Kombat 1. In their preview trailer, they had Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 2 characters only shown. Apparently there's going to be a Jean-Claude Van Damme skin for Johnny Cage. So Van Damme at some point has finally given in 30 years later and said, give me the money, you can use my skin.
Yep.
There you go, guys. Finally, Johnny Cage is going to be Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yep, it's happened.
Always meant to be that way.
I hope he's a really shit character.
Well, it's just a skin, so it would be like exactly the same, which I was never much of a Johnny Cage fan. I always found him I never found him really intuitive to use. It was always Raiden or Scorpion for me.
Yeah, it's the same.
Earlier MKs, they are the go-to. They are good characters. Yeah. So that should be So it's coming out on Switch. Ree's got her Switch in the lounge room on the big telly, so maybe I'll get Mortal Kombat 1, but the reason I brought it up is because I've started playing Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 again on my DS.
Yeah.
When it's not Dr. Mario time in the toilet, it's Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. So just getting getting the feel back for that and getting the feel of the just relearning the speed running and relearning the techniques and the fun you can have with that game, even just against the AI. You can just do some fun stuff. And I played through Need for Speed 2 recently, the whole game.
Oh, nice.
On PS1.
Cool.
I played it back in the day with my brother. I was talking to a guy from work during a training course. This guy's in Perth. We were chatting about the interface of the thing we're using. He's like, "Oh, it's like an old Sega emulator I used to use." And I was like, "Sega emulator, you say?" Instant best buds. Like, this dude,
rad.
Yeah, he's a collector as well. He hasn't got a huge collection, but he's starting more off a handheld side of things.
Yep.
He's still got his original PS1 and PS2.
Get him hooked, Mikey.
Yeah, he's already there. He's already there. He loves it. He's PSP mad as well. And
cool.
It was weird to meet someone from your work who is into the very strange niche hobby that you are also into.
It hasn't happened with me yet. Yeah, everybody's into camping and fishing and BCFing. No one's into arcades or anything as much.
I've got this guy at work called Sean, and he's really passionate, but fuck me, he just massive Tetris nerd. So.
Okay, one of those guys. Yeah. Collects pink PSPs and stuff. He's kind of weird.
I just shake my head at him like, righto, buddy. Yeah. This is coming from a guy who plays Spectre all night. God.
Shit. But yeah, I mean, if you're listening, Paul, big ups, mate. How you doing, buddy? Paul the Kiwi from Perth, he's a legend. I've been chatting ever since. We chat daily as well at work, just talking about gaming stuff, about random stuff.
Nice.
And so he sent me over Need for Speed 2. I sent him over a couple of PS1 discs like Motor Racer 2, Worms World Party. A couple of others were in there as well. I can't remember what they were. So I had a crank on Need for Speed 2. I asked to borrow it from him because back in the day, me and my brother used to rent it out and would play it. And I had this memory of a cheat that we would do. And the cheat was you could unlock, you could play as two buses. So you could essentially just like park these two buses across the track and just have constant pile-ups with these like supercars doing 300 kilometers an hour into the side of you.
Excellent.
And so I finished the game. I'm going to wait till I finish the game and I'm going to use the password cheat to get the bus. There's also a password cheat for a super-powered engine, and you can double the cheats up on top of each other. So you get the bus with superpower. You unlock the crazy track that's like a partial roller coaster track, and there's massive jumps. There's like dinosaurs and stuff. You can unlock a T-Rex as a car and then turbo it up, so it's like a full-speed T-Rex.
Sweet.
There's probably like 20 or 30 different cars or objects you can unlock to races. You can unlock as like a horse and cart, but it's just the cart part of the horse and cart. So just like the back part. Yeah. It's one of the objects on the side of the track.
Wow.
So I had an absolute amazing amount of fun time after I finished the game. Super fast buses going these massive jumps. The physics engine is freaking out because the actual hitbox of the bus is like a kind of a car size, but the bus is like attached as it's showing as the pixels are there as the bus body. So you're hitting the wall and the bus is flicking around. It's like there was some points I was crashing into things, and the computer, the PS1 was like,
what do I do?
It was freezing for a half second because there was so much action happening at once. It didn't know what to do, and then it would just keep going. Oh man, it was pretty fun to do that after all those years of thinking about remembering like the buses we would get, and we didn't have the speed cheat back then. We're just doing two buses and just being stupid and blocking up traffic and crashes. But yeah, super fast bus, super heavy as well, just smashing through all the enemy cars, the opponents.
Yeah.
So that was that, and then just a slow burn of Final Doom. I'm up to the fourth last level in Final Doom, and it is ridiculously hard. I've had 2 or 3 sessions on it, and I'm only about a quarter of the way through the map, trying to learn where the ambushes are still happening. The doors will open, or you'll end up on a drop-down elevator. If you don't turn left and shoot, if you turn right, you're dead. If you're not looking and you don't turn left, you're dead. There's like 2 guys, two chain gunner guys. They just destroy you. And you You have to literally, as the elevator
Man.
goes down, you have to be pressed left on the controller so you can look to the side and start shooting instantly. Otherwise, you're dead. It's like getting that hard.
Wow.
That's nuts.
It's a good slow burn. Slow burn, just taking the time. I'm gonna finish it.
Frustrating. Yeah,
and
wow.
yeah.
Any Star Wars Battlefront lately, Mikey?
No, none. No, haven't jumped back onto it. I did get this little pickup though from Paul in Perth. He sent me over this little nugget that he picked up in a Midway Arcade Treasures for the
that's
PSP.
nice.
He knows I'm a massive Mortal Kombat fan. He's a mad Mortal Kombat fan as well. It's also got Joust on it, Gauntlet, original MK3, not Ultimate, so like the original arcade version. A couple of others, but I haven't got a PSP yet, so it's going to be like me when I got my Star Wars 32X, and then didn't get an actual 32X until 8 years later. Maybe one of those situations.
Maybe you can get one in Japan. I don't know.
I'm going to have to talk to Sean. Sean's the PSP guy. He knows how they go. Maybe I'll get one.
Oh, he's going over in August as well, I think. Like, I know he's going to Japan. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I might see him there then.
that would be a shame. Like, fly so far to get away from him, and shit.
But yeah, Neil, I want to meet up with that dude. I want to meet up with Spike Sets Fire, the YouTube guy that we met at Netherworld that night when he was playing Daytona and had the glitching screen.
Yeah, I was rat drunk that night. Yeah.
So if Sean's over at the same time, we meet that dude. It could be some sort of episode crossovers happening. That'd be great.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Have to talk to King Matt, see if he can get connected to Akuazu and go into the Donkey Kong underground of Japan. See if he can get involved with that.
That'd be amazing.
You might not come out, but it'd be an experience. Just tell them you know Matt Tekio, and they'll look right after you.
Beautiful. Yep. Emperor Tekio.
Yep.
And that's apart from a bit about the Battle of the Arcades training, that's been my gaming time in the past 2 months. It's been too long. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm just
that's all good, man.
It's the same for everyone, I think. Man. Just heading towards end of financial year. I don't know what it is. Things just feel busier. I don't know why. It's just like everything just seems to step up an extra couple of notches, and then we've got things like BPAC happening on top of all the extra stuff as well. And it feels like a lot, But I totally get it.
Yeah, definitely. That's why we haven't had a episode in a while. I think it's been a little while now. So
Well, yep.
How about you, young Neil? How are you doing, buddy? What have you been up to?
Young Neil, who got his photo taken yesterday, and man, they had me with the light on, but they got me with the camera light, and it's just all fucking grey.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Anyway, what have I been up to? I've been playing Spectre. I lost my groove a bit, actually. So I was constantly trying to get a really good start, which has been destroying me because enemy can pop up from literally anywhere. So you can spend like about 10-15 minutes trying to get the starting score that I need to get a record. And I've just been dying, and it's been screwing me up because even when I get past those first 3 levels where I'm really point pressing, I've been finding that I can't handle the speed anymore because I haven't been practicing that. So I've actually just gone fuck the start and just been playing it naturally, which is where I got passionate about the game and where I really enjoy it. Because that's how it's supposed to be played in my mind. So I've had a couple of good goes at that, and I actually reached the next level that I've been stuck on. So I didn't have the score to get like a high score, but I got 79,000 and reached a new level, which was it was crazy frantic. I died in seconds, but I loved it. So I've been doing that, and I've been playing Death Charge just a little bit. I've been I found it really hard with BotA. I'm not going to play BotA this year, just because of my wrist. So been struggling with that a little bit, but with BotA, the idea is to play 2 days nonstop of arcade games, and to put up your best score for all of those for hours of gameplay, and
also trying to learn those games to play them for an hour, which is maxing your personal skill and forcing yourself to play as long as possible in these games.
Yeah, it's a lot of investment of your personal time to play a game for a short amount of time just for a competition. It's actually a big time commitment, and I'm finding that I don't have the free time to do that. So it's gonna just go on skill. But it's sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm just finding because I can't, I know that I wouldn't be able to play for the 2 days straight. It's hard to commit to it at all. So I've just decided to back out and help Netherworld in a somewhat of a coaching role, if I can, learn about the games and hopefully I can help some people along the way. But yeah, just
Wonder Boy.
Oh man, it was 5 years ago. I've
forgotten.
I've lost a lot of skill in the game. But yeah, I'll certainly help where I can. But yeah, just dealing with that. That's a competition that I really love, and it brought me into this community with like getting to know everyone and stuff. So I've actually struggled with that a bit. But if I played 2 days of gaming, it'll just screw me up for work, and I can't have that. That's the last thing I can have. So just got to take care of myself and find just continue with Spectre and enjoy that. So recent pickups, no pickups, sorry, but like I've been working on my Rally export, so I booted that up today, and it's got a fault. It's coming up with a bunch of zeros on the right hand side. So that would usually be where the map would be on Rally X. So I might have to look into that. I'm hoping that there's more information on Rally X being a Namco game more than Spectre. Like there really isn't much information in regards to like faults or repairs or things like that. But yeah, Rally X is a bit more of a common game, and being a Namco title, I'm fingers crossed I might be able to look into that and see what's going on there. I was able to boot that up because I got the jammer connector, jammer adapter from a guy on Aussie Arcade. I think his name's like Extendo or something like that. But yeah, he also sells them on eBay.
Okay.
And yeah, I was able to reach out to him on Aussie Arcade, and he sent it to me for like $25, including postage. So I was pretty happy with that.
Wow.
Besides that, haven't really been doing much. Besides playing Link with Jen. So we're coming really close to the end of that. Well, I feel like we are, because I actually don't know what happens at the end. But we've got all of our items now. So and we're going, like, we've picked up a cross which we found in a hidden town, which was just out in the woods. We actually we used a walkthrough to find that because it was super stuck. So
this is Legend of Zelda 2, Adventures of Link, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Sick. All right.
So it was the second time we had to use the walkthrough to work something out. our health still isn't at at the maximum that it shows on screen. So we've obviously missed something along the way. But we're up to this ghost town. And we first went into this ghost town, and like you're just walking through the town and you're getting hit by something and you can't actually see it.
I remember that.
Yeah. But now that we've got the cross from the hidden town, you can actually see.
You can see them.
Yep. So that's where we're at, and we're making heaps of progress. So we're playing it a fair bit.
Awesome.
So, yeah. Well, hopefully we'll be done with that soon, and on to, I think it's A Link to the Past on the SNES would be after that. So
Nice.
yeah, really enjoying playing that. So I think that's a wrap up, guys, unless we have anything else that we would like to share.
No, that's everything from me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd like to mention I did have one little session on the good old Bad Company 2. I jumped back onto the online on PS3. The servers are still running, and people are going crazy on there lately for some reason. It's really weird.
Sweet.
For years, it was like you jump online, get into a game, there's like 2 or 3 people. But this was like 3/4 full servers for most of my session, which is very odd, but really fun. And it took me about an hour to get back into like a positive kill-death ratio. It was tough, but a lot of fun. Like I haven't played it for bloody ages. It's still kicking, still going hard. It's free, good old PS3 online.
Yep.
I assume Xbox 360 still cranking. PCs, I'm pretty sure PCs have their own servers and their own custom people, their own Facebook groups and so on. But yeah, that was a great little session.
Yeah, rad. Was that the one that you were creating servers for at one point, or something like that? Or?
So I was doing that on Battlefield Portal, which came alongside the last Battlefield that came out, 2042. I've almost forgotten about it. But no, this is just going back to the old PS3 version of Bad Company 2, and it's still kicking, still going hard, and people are playing it pretty full on.
That's mad. That's mad.
A lot of fun. It's intense. It's the way it was like 10 years ago when it was going off.
Cool.
Wow.
All right. Well, we might call it a night, guys.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks. Awesome to catch up again. Like they said, it's been a while, and we've tried a couple of times, and it's fallen through or whatnot. But and Sean wasn't feeling the best after a weekend away. So yeah, hope you get better soon, Sean, and everything's okay there. But yeah, I'm sure he'll be with us for the next session.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Actually, there is just one last thing I forgot to mention. I finally finished the Donkey Kong profiles. So I've done up, I think it's like 31 or something like that profiles. So a profile is created if you make qualifying for 1 year. And I don't do them for like the internationals that haven't come back. Because there's no kind of point of having that information.
So these profiles, Neil, this is for Kong Off and the competitors in Australian Kong Off, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yes, it is. It's for all the people who have qualified previously or made the top 8 or 16 in the previous years. And yeah, it just kind of gives like a bit of a win-loss as how they've done previously. And it's got the PB at like the PB, the Donkey Kong Forum ranking, stuff like that. So I reached out for help because I can get all the stats and collect all the stats together, because there wasn't like it was the kind of information was over Match Play and Donkey Kong Forum, so I just kind of amalgamated them.
Cool.
And then I'm not very good with like making profiles for the stream, which we really wanted to set up. So Tagster kindly put his hand up, and I shot all the information to him, and I shot the profile pictures that Phil Day has provided over the years. And yeah, we're actually making profiles for the stream. And Kibby's working hard in that space, so he's got some professional stream stuff happening. So hopefully it looks a lot better this year.
Cool.
But yeah, I got a sneak peek of it. Hopefully we'll be able to share it soon. But yeah, Tax has done a really good job of implementing the art by Nelson Gibbons into the profiles, and it looks really dope. So yeah, hopefully I've got a bit more news in regards to that
Cool.
next podcast. So I've been delving into the stats a little bit, and I'll leave the podcast with one of my favorite Donkey Kong stats, because I love this shit.
You're the Bruce McAvaney of Donkey Kong.
So the winner of every Donkey Kong competition has finished in the top 5
In qualifying.
in qualifying.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. That's good to know.
So the lowest was Estelle Goffnet in number 2. He was ranked 5th at the end of qualifying. Shane Saul was ranked 4th at the end of qualifying. And I believe that the others have all finished 1st or 2nd in qualifying. So
That's cool.
yeah. So I think it's like, although it seems very like, anyone could win at the end of the day, there's certainly the cream that rises to the top.
Yeah, top
at
bracket.
The end of obviously, potentially who you're playing as well, because the first person who comes first plays the bottom of the top 16.
Yep.
So yeah, potentially, there might be something there. So yeah, but I'll definitely have some more stats for you next podcast.
Cool. That's so good, man. Love it.
All right. Well, with that, we'll wrap it up. And yeah, thanks for joining us. See you later.
Thanks all.
Thanks.
Have a good week.